Greetings, this is NobleKale for NobleKale.com. I've got here a game called Cash Quest, which is described as a pixel art adventure exploring game, and it's by Crim240 from Reddit's Feedback Friday number 46. And so Crim's got a couple of questions. I'm going to be answering those as I sort of do a blind playthrough. I haven't seen this game apart from just this screen here. So let's have a quick look at the visuals. So we've got this kind of pixel art-esque look to it. It's very heavily dithered, which is something you don't often see too much. I don't know, it's not a look that I particularly love, but it is pretty consistent, so I'm going to give it a pass on that. What I do notice though is that, so you've got this font up here, and then when I highlight over here, you've got the font in the big box up here. And that's just that font there, but doubled in size, and the same as this one over here. What I'd rather have is either this font duplicated here, or I would like to see you redo this bit up here in a font that then takes advantage of the pixels, because otherwise you've got different pixel sizes going on, and that's mixing quality, and the consistency just isn't there. What I'm also sort of concerned about, I guess, is that while you have all this dithering and it gives you this kind of noisy look, and it is consistent, but there are so many colors being used here, and I'm not sure that that really kind of is a look and feel that I'd go for, but at least it's consistent. Alright, there's a bit of controls here, so it's got WASD or arrow keys to move, and it's really geared for arrow keys at the moment. And then there's a comment by Redditor Just Kevin, who's actually WX3 Labs on Twitter, that the WASD keys don't seem to work, so I'm going to be testing those. It's also got Z for jumping, X to interact with switches and to dive in water, left shift to sprint. So I have no idea where I'm even going to go, so there's no indication as to a starting point. What I'm noticing is there's a 0 out of a number here, and I'm not entirely sure what that's for, so we'll find out. Maybe it's a goal or some kind of accomplishment list. But I do notice that the trading post doesn't come up with that, so I'm going to click that first. Good fading transition there. So this screen is still consistent with the previous screen, so that's doing pretty okay. So I've got a money pile. Yeah, I'm trying to click here and I don't know why. When you tell me that the game has keyboard controls and then I have to use a mouse to click on something and then I have to go back to a keyboard, that's a bit weird to me, so that's something to bear in mind. Z to jump, and I have some sounds there, and that's pretty fine. They're not too obnoxious, but we'll see how we go. What I would prefer though is that if you're going to give me sounds, give me a way to turn them off. On that title screen or whatever we were just on, that's a key place for you to put a little note and then an anti-sign that I can apply to kill the noise. So that's one thing that I would implement immediately, just because it's something that I am a real bugbear for. I'm trying to interact with the money pile with X, and it doesn't, and the shopkeeper, and nothing's happening. So I'm guessing that for now those aren't implemented. I like this. This is the sprint, and I have this little dust cloud, and that's pretty cool. It does follow me even when I sort of do these quick turns. So we're going to try and leave this. Okay, so you just walk straight off, and that's a pretty natural thing, so I'm not too fussed about that. Okay, the mine seems like the obvious place to start. Okay, so I like this area immediately. There's a great game called Captain Comic 2 that has a underground mine section, and I hope that they've played that, because that is one of the big console games for me personally. Okay, so I've still got jump. I'm going to be running around a lot just because I can. Okay, run. Just as a side note, Shift and WASD. WASD is not working for me, so clearly that comment's correct. But as a side note, if you're going to give me WASD and arrow keys, you also need to provide the other keys in a rotated fashion. So I know you've got Shift, Z and X. I need sort of OP and left square bracket as well, or something like that. So that's something else to bear in mind. Here we go. Alright, it didn't look like I could make that jump. Hang on. Apparently I can double jump, but I still can't make that. So maybe that unlocks later. This ladder is a bit awkward. But we got there in the end. So I'm just kind of fooling around at the top. It is possible to drop down between it. Anyway, so I don't quite know where I'm going, but we'll make it work. And that is a big square thing that sort of implies that it's one of the things from the start. But it's not reacting to anything. I'm pressing X. Okay, so I'm just going to assume that that's something that hasn't quite been implemented yet. If it is something that has been implemented, well, clearly I didn't know how to do it. And I'm somehow ejected from the mines despite being halfway through the ground. Okay, so moving out of the right boundary of the map seems to be kicking me out. And I find that a bit weird. Especially when I'm sort of halfway underground. Maybe it's an unimplemented area. Okay, so that confirms that. Okay, so visually I don't mind the look of this area. I think that it's pretty good. I would like to see maybe some stalactites, some stalagmites. Now, before there was a bridge over this substance which kind of looks like apple juice or something else that's yellow, so I don't particularly want to jump into it. But it's not red, so it's not lava. It's not green, so it's not acid. So I'm going to assume it's some kind of swimmel. Okay, so I can float on the top, and it's also got X to dive in. So, okay, and that makes me susceptible to gravity. I find this is a really good way to deal with water. Z was just this kind of float up jump thing, and we're on our way. Water's not something that's done well in platformers. Certainly it's not something I've done well in Arnthak, so kudos on that one. I get the feeling if I go to the right here, I'm going to leave the map, so we've got to keep moving down. Okay, but I'm not entirely sure that this area is finished or there's something that can actually be achieved here. Yeah, it looks like there's still some things to come, so let's leave this area. Let's try out another one. But before we do, let's have a quick look at some of the questions here. Are the platforms readable? Is it clear what's in the background and what you can actually collide against? Yes, phenomenally. That was fine for me. Do you have any issues with lag or frame rate loss? Nope, nothing noticeable. Do you have any level in particularly likable or really dislike? Haven't encountered it yet, so we'll come back to that one. Do the particle effects seem nice? Haven't noticed any. Additional feedback, I've been giving that one. So let's try the forest. Okay, this looks a bit more detailed and used. So here we go. Okay, decorative ball, most likely used in an ancient sport, played by rich men. Yep, okay, great. There was an arrow pointing down and I kind of missed it, so I don't know, maybe I accidentally hit the escape key. I'm noticing there's a little frowny face over here in the tree. I don't think that's intentional though. Now let's have a quick chat about the background. There are so many different layers and we've kind of lost the original aesthetic of these sort of vibrant colors, and we've got these sort of faded out ones. I don't mind it, but I don't think it's sort of in keeping with the original visual style. So let's have a look around. So clearly this area has received a bit more love than the other one, than the mine. Okay, that looks like another item I can pick up. Okay, so that's actually not bad. That tiny moment of frustration. This, in a lot of platformers, Arthac included, when I hit a ladder, it kind of snaps me over to the middle. So you might want to consider that, just to avoid that kind of stuff going on. So if I drop straight down, okay, big tire. Okay, sure. So yeah, that down arrow doesn't seem to do anything, so maybe it should just be replaced. Okay, and a mushroom. Okay, so just playing through this area, I don't mind the platforming. I think that's actually pretty cool. The level design seems pretty alright. I don't know how I would get up there. Maybe some kind of extra item will boost me up jump speed wise or something like that. There's also a switch down here. So let's see how that works. Okay. I think I've extended this platform over here. But I don't know. Okay, I gotta go all the way around. Alright, so that's enabled me to get to this area here. So that's not bad. Blue implies to the player that it's an energy field, but not a harmful one, so that's okay. I still don't know how to get up there, but I'm not too fussed about that. That kind of implies that I need an item or something. One thing that's kind of interesting, I can now double jump. I already was double jumping. Maybe that's, I don't know, they've left in some debug stuff or whatever. Because I can't double jump, and I can't jump any higher than I was before. I am noticing a little bit of slowdown now, just in this area here. Anyway, what I'm actually looking for now is an exit. But some other things that I would like to sort of see right now is, I can crawl. I know it said WASD, but I didn't quite assume that I could crawl, so maybe that's how I get into that area up in the top left. I'm actually looking for an exit, because I sort of want to leave this area and go have a look at the others. Okay, rightmost area of the map. What? No, okay, it doubles up into 2 map sections, and that's kind of cool. Super Mario reference there. Okay, so while I look for an exit, or run back to the start, some things that I'm noticing. There's no head up. There's no sort of overlay. There's nothing to tell me how I'm doing. And I think that a progress bar, like I'm meant to be finding 10 items. How many have I got left to find? I shouldn't have to do what I'm doing, which is running outside of the map area to then check. Also, 0 out of 10. Pretty sure I found quite a few there, so something's not quite registering. Nothing going on there. So yeah, I'd like to see a head up to show me what items I've picked up, how many I still have yet to pick up, and just some general information. Give me some feedback. Let me know how things are going. Make sure you, when you do have a head up, make sure it's in this kind of backdrop. Something that I noticed, and I'll go back in here. The screen that it pops up the information about each item on is double pixel size as well, so I'd much rather that you break that down into single pixel size and be more consistent. So far the forest much better than the mines. I think that the mines has sort of a personality to it, but obviously the content's not quite there yet, so I'd like to see something else as well. We'll just quickly drop by the ocean. Wow, that's gorgeous. These tree leaves don't suit the dithered style of everything else. This is pillow shading and this is not, so you better go back and fix that, because otherwise it doesn't look right. I'm also noticing I'm coming in on the rightmost side, which is a little bit of a head challenge for some players, and I think that's actually a good thing. That's a lot of falling. And a lot more falling. Okay. We'll see if I can pop open one of those. No. So far I'm not noticing any hazards, which is fine if they want to go that way. I think they're just not programmed in yet. I would imagine there'd be some, enemies, some spike traps. There was a little bit of lag there, but I'm not too fussed about it. Anyway, I might just call it here. So this was a game called Cash Quest. It's about picking things up, I guess, by Crim240. There's no Twitter details, so hopefully they'll tell me some of those and I'll put them into the video description or something like that. It's available on Feedback Friday number 46, and the links will all be in the description for the video. And I'll move on to the next game. Thanks, guys.